All right. Thank you. Thank you. Well, welcome and happy snow week and happy new year to you all. I missed being with you last week. I mean, that last week was still this year. Anyway, great to see you all here today. I suspect we might have more people online maybe than in person, but we're still here and we are a mighty group of loving, connected people. So welcome to our Sunday celebration service. I'm Reverend Valorie, and it's my joy to be here with you today. So we'd like to start, and welcome to those of you who are also online with us. So I'd like to start and recognize any visitors who are here for the first time today. Anyone here for the first time? Well, we're not going to embarrass you or anything. We just want to get to know you and share some of our ways of connecting with Unity of Richmond. So let us start with an opening prayer, and if there is certainly a call for prayer with what's going on in the world today, and so let us pause in this moment and bring our awareness to our heart center. And as we connect with our heart center, we connect with the love that is within us. We connect with the love of Spirit. And as we come together as a community, we want to lift all of those in Los Angeles, California, who have experienced the devastation of the forest fires and losing their homes and their communities. And so we just, with our love, we lift them up. We go within and we ask what is ours to do. And right now we just see God's mighty presence pouring over all who are affected, all of those who are helping, the firefighters, the emergency workers, the local and state government. And we just see that the work of Spirit and the presence of God and the love of God and the peace of God are moving in and through all of those who are there to help and all of those who are receiving help. We also say a prayer of gratitude for our own, what we just experienced this last week. We were learning the lesson of how, what a blessing it is to have running water. And so we give thanks for all of those who were working night and day to restore our water system back to working condition. And we're so grateful for all of those who did such good and service in helping others who were in that position. And so as we move through this day, we just call forth that love that is within us and that love that connects us as we go forth and share that love with the world, with our families, with our community, with the world. And for this, knowing we are grateful. And so it is. Amen. So our unity affirmation is on the screen. Let us say it together. Unity of Richmond is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us. And with God as our source, we accomplish mighty works together. There are no truer words. And so, for our daily word today, we are talking about the practice of gratitude. And since our service leader isn't here, that's why I'm here sharing all of this with you. Practicing gratitude leads me to the best that life has to offer. Finding the good in situations, even undesirable ones, and feeling grateful is a superpower. When I practice gratitude, I am living my faith that blessings of all kinds are constantly and the goodness of God is in all things. Gratitude keeps me positive, helping me to expect the best and not the worst. It opens my heart to the existing blessings and primes me to receive even more. When I live with an attitude of gratitude, I am simply magnetic. I go forth with the expectation that I will have what I need when I need it. I will meet the people I need to meet and be in the right place at the right time. In prayer, I give grateful thanks and rest assured my highest and best outcomes are on their way to me and to everyone. The scripture is from Psalm 136:1. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. And our affirmation is, I'll say it once and you can repeat it with me. Practicing gratitude leads me to the best that life has to offer. Again, practicing gratitude leads me to the best that life has to offer. And one more time and stand up. Practicing gratitude leads me to the best that life has to offer. So we're going to sing the goodness of God together. All right. These are the hands, this is the voice to celebrate the goodness of God. I lift up my hands, I lift up my voice to celebrate the goodness of God. So as we wait with our hearts wide open, fill us as we pray, that we may walk in the fullness, the wonder of your grace. These are the hands, this is the voice to celebrate the goodness of God. These are the hands, I lift up my voice to celebrate the goodness of God. We hear your voice in the silence, a whisper sweet and clear. And it is then that we discover your presence ever near. Ours are the hands, ours is the voice to celebrate the goodness of God. To celebrate the goodness of God. To celebrate the goodness of God. All right, you may be seated. All right, we have great things happening here at Unity. And so our first thing that is happening starting this week is our noon guided meditation with Reverend Robin Moore. So we have a chance to come together in the middle of your lunch hour, perhaps, if you work, or want to take a time in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day, to come together for centering and finding peace and experiencing that stillness. And there is no experience necessary. Just come, bring your heart and an open desire for connection. And if you like to share lunch, there will be, just bring a little potluck to share, and after the meditation, you can have a little lunch. That's this Wednesday on the 15th, starting at noon. Also Wednesday, we're back into starting our drum circle on a regular basis. So Wednesday evening at 6:30, our regular meditation time, we will have our drumming circle. And we're going to have them monthly throughout the year, because there was such enthusiasm and excitement and such a great energy from the ones that we did, that we want to continue that. We also now have a change from the Reiki exchange. It's not today, it's being moved to next week. So that next week it'll be the third Sunday, and so we're going to aim to keep Reiki Healing Circle exchange on the third Sunday. Now, you don't have to be a practitioner to receive Reiki, so if you'd like to receive that energy healing from practitioners, it's a very powerful experience, and I can attest to that. So, and then if you are a practitioner or know a practitioner, it gives a chance for everyone to come together and deepen the practice. All right. Also, next week after service, we're going to have our Discover Unity class for those who are interested in knowing more about Unity of Richmond and Unity in general, or who wish to just come together and share Unity ideas and your learn a deeper awareness of Unity principles. Then come to our Foundations class. So even if you have been a member, the last time we did it, we had a lot of longtime members come, and we had a great time sharing and getting to know each other at a deep level. All right, there's a couple of other exciting things too this month. This month starts the season of nonviolence on January 20th. It's also Martin Luther King Day on January 20th. Yeah. And we and the Alliance for Unity of Justice are going to have a Discovering Loving Kindness in Politics and Public Policy, presented by Sylvia Clute from the Alliance for Unity of Justice, and also opening with the Sedona method shared by Katie McCall. And some of you, if you don't know her, you probably heard her voice on some of the commercials on television or seen her in the theater. Those who are in the theater know Katie. But Katie is quite a practiced healer, and this Sedona method is something that she shared, that she wanted to share with us, because it's a way of how to work with our intense emotions and center ourselves. So come on that day. We're starting at 10 a.m., followed by a potluck lunch, and it will be streamed as well as in person. So there is a sign up and a way to access the live stream, and look in our newsletter too, because all of that's in the newsletter. All right, and last Sunday of this month, we have a Ho'oponopono workshop, which is being presented by Reverend Cheryl Fair. We do have a video to show that because she's, facilitates her own church, she couldn't be here herself to make the announcement. But Ho'oponopono is the ancient Hawaiian practice of forgiveness. It's a Hawaiian spiritual practice for healing, freedom from the past, learning to connect with that divinity within and in others, and to release these errors in thought, word, and deed. So that's from 1 to 3 on the 26th after service. All right, and here's the video.
way about a year ago when I was reminded by a friend of the ancient Hawaiian spiritual practice called Ho'oponopono. So I read some books. I completed a course because I have a tendency to kind of dive in about things, and I was able to become a certified Ho'oponopono practitioner. So I have a passion for sharing about this transformational practice that has the potential to resolve issues and shift your perspective on things that really feel like sticky, and things you have trouble processing and clearing out of your consciousness. So I'm going to be visiting there at Unity of Richmond on Sunday, January the 26th at 1 p.m. with a workshop that I call Centering with Ho'oponopono. And I hope to see you all there, where we can talk about this practice and practice a little bit, and hopefully build a foundation for you so that you too can get some ongoing benefits from this wonderful practice. So I hope to see you for Centering with Ho'oponopono on Sunday, January 26th at 1 p.m. in the sanctuary right there at Unity of Richmond. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye, folks.
All right. So one last thing before we go on. This week, our friend Royce Clater will be having a hip replacement on Wednesday, and we are setting up a meal train to bring her some meals the few days or a week after she gets home. And it is set up electronically. Watch for our newsletter for the link on how you can sign up to bring a meal and what her meal preferences are. And I also have a little clipboard here just with a little bit more information about it, or contact the office and we'll get you hooked up to connect with the meal train for Royce, one of our congregants. And also, last but not least, I hear it is Vicki Leake's birthday, so happy birthday, Vicki. Anyone else have a birthday today? On the 22nd, Lori. And Barbara Ra on Saturday. And Stephen was the 7th. All right. Let's sing happy birthday, dear friends, huh? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. All right. We're going to turn it over to our music team now.
We've all heard this kind of story. Somebody's diagnosed that their time is suddenly short. And in the back of our minds, we wonder, what if the news was mine? Will we do more of the same with the moments that remain? Would we live like we were dying? Why wait? Why wait for that fateful fall, for that wake-up call? Why wait till it's too late? There is only today. We've all heard this kind of story. An earthquake strikes the coast of a distant land, Seems like every time we come together as humankind, we make a different choice. Kindness cuts through all the noise, and we're suddenly united. Why wait? Why wait for that pouring rain, for that hurricane? Why wait till it's too late? There is only today. Why wait? Why wait? Why wait for that faithful fall, for that wake-up call? Why wait till it's too late? There is only today. Why wait? Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was awesome. What a great choice of song for today. Wow. I'd like to recognize, because I did go online, at Royce Clater, Eric Lamberson in Panama, Mary Ellen's with us, Peggy White, Peggy Rogers, and Joe are with us today, and others that are not identified either on YouTube. So we are connected in so many ways with the world and with each other. Today's topic is it's a miracle. And I am using, as some of my reference today, of course, is The Course in Miracles, and a book called Unity and A Course in Miracles, Understanding Their Common Path to Spiritual Awakening by William Heller and Paul Hasselbeck, Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, a Unity minister. And William Heller is a Course in Miracles person. Because, we've had a study group here for many years at Unity of Richmond, and the study group has been strong since it started, 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I came, it started. We started back up just coming out of the pandemic and gathering, and this last week was the first weekly meeting because the group is meeting every week. So today I was wanting to share with you how to live, or how to cause the miraculous, how to live a miraculous life. And what exactly is a miracle anyway? What's your definition as you understand it? Now think of a time in your life when you experienced the miraculous. I mean, there's probably more than one time. I learned from the Landmark Forum when 2019, when we were attending, that a miracle is something that exists in time that you cannot explain with your current way of understanding reality. And it forces you to reinterpret life, unquote. So when you think about the different miracles in your own life, did they defy the laws of nature? Or are they simply beyond your mind's comprehension? Now, truth be told, I have experienced a lot of different miraculous things in my life. And as I was thinking about this, I was reflecting on that as I was preparing. So all of those experiences I had definitely transcend my understanding of how the laws of the universe work. So one that really stood out for me and is quite, I guess, dramatic for most people is that when I walked on hot coals, you know, fire walking in the 80s, and every time after that I did it again, I had some reason I had to do it more than once, and I facilitated groups in doing it, and it was quite an amazing experience because, and blow your mind that you can do that and not get burned. So I've had the experience also of hearing music in my dreams and also in a waking state. Music that is like, you could call it the music of the spheres. It was otherworldly. It was not coming from the CD player or any electronics whatsoever. So that was quite an amazing experience when I when I was those, I guess, revelations. That was very soothing and comforting and healing. And also, most of all, I have seen what the power of love can do to heal a human heart. And I've had mystical awakenings that undid the narrow beliefs that I grew up with and that I held about religion, that I held about the nature of God or spirit, the divine, and about Jesus, having been raised in a Christian religion. So there are also everyday miracles that we often miss because our focus is on difficulties. So today I want to share with you the co-relationship with unity and, of course, miracles and their common path. And I want to start with just cut. Miracles is also referred to ACIM, abbreviated, also the Course. And its underlying premise is that the greatest miracle is the act of simply gaining a full awareness of love's presence in a person's life. A full awareness of love's presence in one's life. Now, each time we have a full awareness of love's presence in our life, indeed, that is a miracle. And it opens us up to astounding results. Also, the Course in Miracles defines a miracle is a correction introduced into false thinking. It acts as a catalyst breaking up an erroneous perception and reorganizing it properly. A correction in our mind, moving our thoughts and beliefs to higher consciousness toward true spiritual awareness. So this is the reason A Course in Miracles is powerful, because as a human being, we are often in need of correction, aren't we? Of correction to our false thinking. Now, our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, said this: there are no miracles in science. Jesus did no miracles. All his marvelous works were done under laws that we may learn and we may use. So what this means is that what we typically call a miracle doesn't defy universal law. It's a higher law that we don't understand with our human understanding, nor how to use it. Also, in the Revealing Word by Charles Fillmore, it says the metaphysical meaning of a miracle is an event or effect in the physical world, beyond or out of the ordinary course of things, deviating from the known laws of nature or transcending our knowledge of these laws. In reality, miracles are events that take place as a result of the operation of a higher, unknown law. All true action is governed by law. Nothing just happens. All happenings are a result of cause and can be explained under the law of cause and effect. Now, religion has historically defined miracles, the miracles of Jesus, as though they defied some natural law and were intervened by the supernatural. So this is a very different definition of miracle, isn't it? Charles Fillmore also in the Revealing Word says, miracles don't go against natural law. They are based on laws that we cannot see. So what is the connection between unity and A Course in Miracles? Well, there is no direct association with the A Course in Miracles and unity. The Course, as it has come to be called, came about when a Jewish woman, Helen Schucman, a psychologist in the College of Physicians and Surgeons at Columbia University in New York, was having a very conflicting time with her colleagues in that department. Specifically, she wasn't getting along with her nearest colleague, which was William Thetford. And actually, as this was coming to her, she shared it with her colleague, and he then became like she would dictate, and he was writing down what was coming to her. And he was the professor of medical psychology. Now, it was published in 1976 by the Foundation for Inner Peace, and it credits no author, but the direct revelation from Jesus speaking to Helen, again, a Jewish woman who was a professed atheist. So he took the dictation when she confided with him, and guess what? Their relationship and all of that was healed in this department. So I'm not going to go any further, but if you want to know more about that story, which is quite miraculous in and of itself, there's a book called A Journey Without Distance that tells all about that. So one thing that has been a point of controversy, I guess, in unity, because you won't find that all unity churches have Course in Miracle groups, although maybe it's evolving now. But the main reason from what I have heard in the field was just that because unity believes that we don't, I guess, advocate the concept of channeling, because we believe that everyone has the ability to receive divine revelation and doesn't have to go through a channel. However, it is an inspired book. The truth and the application of the power of those writings, however it comes, it cannot be denied. So some churches have, unity churches have A Course in Miracles study groups and others not. So she called it inner dictation from Jesus. She also hid it from her husband for a very long time that all this was coming to her. She did not want to come out, if you will, because as what was happening. So she was a little afraid of that and hesitant. So here are a few things from A Course in Miracles about the meaning of miracles. In the beginning of the book, there's a section entitled The Meaning of a Miracle. There's several pages with definitions. And I'm going to share a couple of those with you. One is, there is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder or bigger than the other. They are all the same. All expressions of love are maximal. 2, miracles as such do not matter. The only thing that matters is the source, which is far beyond evaluation. Skipping to number 6, miracles are natural. When they do not occur, something has gone wrong. Number 9, miracles are a kind of exchange. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense, the exchange reverses the physical laws. They bring both more love to the giver and the receiver. So again, as an aside, there's a subtle difference here, because this is stating that it reverses physical law, and Charles Fillmore says it isn't against law. So as an aside, this is where there's a contrast. A miracle does not defy universal law. It's a higher law for us to understand. Number 19 on the list, miracles make minds one in God. They depend on cooperation because the sonship, which is all of us, is the sum of all that God created. Miracles, therefore, reflect the laws of eternity and not time. That sort of explains that difference and distinction. So some of the miracles in the New Testament, as we have heard, there's the story of the man who came to Jesus, and his son had been, had something all of his life, and he wanted Jesus to heal him, and he said, "Do you believe?" And then the man said, "Heal my unbelief." So it does depend on our cooperation with that law. So one of the framework of unity teachings and, of course, in miracles that's in the book is the principles and how is it shared in the book. And so I've abbreviated it because the book is a lot more extensive. But to compare what it says in A Course in Miracles with our 5 principles, it's very clear and precise, so I thought it was definitely worth sharing. So our first principle is that God is absolute good and everywhere present. And here's what A Course in Miracles says. God is all in a very literal sense. All being is in him who is all being. The laws of God work only for your good. There are no other laws. Principle number 2. Human beings have that divinity within them, the Christ Spirit within. Their very essence is of God, and therefore they are inherently good. Of course, in Miracles says, seek him within you who is the Christ in you. Deep within your mind, the Holy Christ in you is waiting your acknowledgement at you. And principle number 3. Human beings create their experience by the activity of their thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought. So the Course in Miracles says all thinking produces form at some level. Projection makes perception. The world you see is what you gave it. It is the witness of your state of mind, the outside picture of an inward condition. So you see, it's like the mind is the screen that through we're projecting our perceptions and our beliefs. And the principle number 4, prayer is the creative thinking that heightens our connection with God mind and therefore brings forth wisdom, healing, prosperity, and everything good. Course in Miracles says, prayer medium of miracles. It is a means of communication with the Creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. Principle number 4. Principle number 5, knowing and understanding the laws of life, also called truth, capital T truth, are not enough. A person must live the truth they know. So we believe in putting action to what we know. And A Course in Miracles says this. Your mission is very simple. You are asked to live so as to demonstrate that you are not an ego. This is not a course in the play of ideas, but in their practical application. Now, I do have, and we have made available copies of some of the slides that you see here. They are available to access. So, just I think that's in our newsletter every week how you can access this slide of what I'm presenting. So, one of the great similarities of both Unity and A Course in Miracles, they both point the way to change in consciousness for an awareness of the real or the true nature. Both point to an understanding of God, absolute oneness, goodness as our true reality. And they each have the same objective, to realize that, to realize divine mind or Christ consciousness as true reality, to realize your spiritual beingness is your true reality. Now, of course, in Miracles focuses on the undoing of our ego-based thought system. That's the focus of this study. And Unity teaches and focuses on learning to choose our spiritual nature over the ego, and trying to interpret everything from our senses, and develop these 12 powers that we on a power a month in the last year and reviewed each month. But the 12 powers or divine attributes that make up that spiritual consciousness. So focus on relative consciousness and absolute. There's two different ways of your viewpoint or your point of power. So they focus on shifting that from relative consciousness to know and rely on the spiritual consciousness, and that's Unity calls the Christ nature. And Unity and Charles Fillmore has used the terms sense consciousness and spiritual consciousness, which is, sense consciousness is that awareness of that and interpreting life as everything that is happening outside of us. And spiritual consciousness is from the inside, seeing things from a spiritual perspective and focusing from that perspective. And the Course in Miracles uses words like wrong-mindedness and right-mindedness. Same thing, sense consciousness and spiritual consciousness. We're in these two different realms of thought. The relative consciousness is our observation of that of life from the outside in. The absolute consciousness is observation from the inside out. And so we want to, and the Course wants, it helps us shift from into right-mindedness. It also calls duality thinking, the ego, and the world of illusion. But it feels very real. We experience the world of illusion as very real, don't we? Both paths agree on the concept about true nature and our relationship with the body and the mind and the spirit. So here's what it says. The body is a projection of our consciousness based on a belief in separation. It seems real when we believe that we are a body having a mind. When we are more than a body, though we have a body and we have a mind. The body is not our true nature. Our spiritual nature is the real and works with our mind and our body. So we want to work in harmony there. There is no point to all of this head knowledge if we can't apply it in our lives. So that's why it's an ongoing study. That's why you don't stop just because you went through a lesson a day for 365 days of the year, but it's a continuation. It's just the same thing as practice of prayer. We don't pray once and then not pray again, right? So can you believe that no matter how difficult life can be, can you believe in miracles? Can you believe in that ability to gain the awareness of love's presence in your life, the full awareness of love's presence? Will you choose that and cultivate that higher nature? The Course in Miracles study group can help you with that. Unity teachings can help you with that. They can work in tandem or they can work individually. Paul Hasselbeck was not in Unity when he was introduced to the Course in Miracles. And he was introduced to the Course when he was in Puerto Rico after having been infected with the AIDS virus. And because he was a dentist and one of his patients had it. So this study led him to where he is today, and now he's a Unity, well-known, loved, and Unity scholar, and published a lot of, and a great teacher, and he's alive and well in spite of having a virus called AIDS, or HIV, So we want to work on becoming aware, having that full awareness of love's presence. So what I was thinking was that number 6 that said, miracles are natural, and if they don't occur, then something has gone wrong. There's a need for correction. So if we're not experiencing miracles in our life, then maybe something has gone wrong, and of course correction is needed. It's not about making a huge, a judgment and a mea culpa, but what needs correcting here in my thoughts and my beliefs and my perceptions. Those errors that are made when the body looks, again, outside at appearances only. Again, we are fully human and fully divine, but we are having a human experience, so we do have an awareness of our senses, for sure. But we want to make the shift from that point of perspective to the inside rather than the outside in, and look from spiritual consciousness. Pray from spiritual consciousness. So these teachings offer us a way to shift our thinking and look at the meaning that the mind is making of our outward experience. Now, Mare and I attended the Landmark Forum and in 2019, and we also took what's called a 10-week seminar, and that seminar was called Causing the Miraculous. It's a transformational and experiential program. It's pretty fast-paced, and it can be intense. It brings a lot up, but it also helps us clean house. But anyway, looking at the concept of what does it mean to cause the miraculous? It doesn't mean that we're using our human effort to make things happen, but we are creating an environment for love, the full expression of love's presence. We're creating an environment for those miracles to happen. And that's beyond what our ego can do. So we create that environment. So at the time that we were taking that 10-week study, it was a very difficult time in my life, because at that time, somewhere about halfway through that seminar, my mother was diagnosed with inoperable pancreatic cancer, and within 3 months she had passed. And the practice of these teachings and the application of them helped me to navigate through this most difficult time of my life with my family, my 2 brothers, and Mare was there by my side. It created that environment, though, for my family and my relationship with my brothers and my mother while she was dying. It was miraculous because there was a tremendous amount of love, full amount of love's presence there. It was free from drama that so many families go through during these types of situations. And because of the practices that we were doing in the course, I had already made connections at a deep level with my 2 brothers and my mother, as that one of the assignments in the work. So to experience miraculous, we want to stay open to the miraculous for it to occur and create that environment. Again, we don't make it happen, we allow it. And it all begins in our consciousness, and spirit does the work. If we were in connection with that divine presence all the time, we wouldn't need miracles. A miracle, I saw again, another definition says, is the grace that occurs to bridge the gap between the illusion of separation and the one spirit, ultimate reality, the one love that is present at the point of you and I, or me, grammatically correct, okay, of you and me. So, what happens? We're faced with difficulties in life, and what happens then? Our fears and our insecurities rise. We interpret the world as an unfriendly place. We lose our sense of awe and wonder. We miss the ordinary miracles every day, and we think the world is happening to us and that everything is against us. These stressors come up, and that's what happens in our ego mind. So the way out of the dilemma is through it. So what am I thinking and feeling right now? How am I seeing this? Am I seeing this from spiritual consciousness, or am I looking for a place to blame? Can I see this situation differently? Once we see where we are, then that's where forgiveness comes in. We need to forgive the circumstance, release the judgment about it. And have you noticed that when people are in distress, there tends to be, yes, anger comes up, right? And then they're looking for blame out there, as to why this is happening and so forth. And I just, kind of observed that this last week with the water crisis, that, people were getting understandably stressed and distressed. And there was blame put out. And the workers working 24/7 to get the water back online, they were doing what they could do. They were doing their best and working to restore the water. So it's always good to look for those who are bringing forth good, those who are bringing forth support and love and kindness, or be the one who is doing that during these stressful times. So instead of seeing it yes, it's a very difficult situation and a very difficult set of circumstances, be compassionate. But how can I see this differently? How can I, as love's presence, improve this situation? And there were a lot of people doing that. There were people supplying meals to families and at the schools, and they were giving water and all kinds of things that were in place to assist. So again, when we're faced with the stress and we're spiraling down into that difficult state of mind, the first step is to, again, orient. Where am I? What am I thinking? Empty your mind of the meaning that is made, and be open and curious to see something differently, to see it new. And that's called coming to the present moment. And that's what the Course in Miracles addresses. And in the very first weeks of lessons, it's looking at each day a little statement that we look at, and it uncovers how our mind is giving meaning to everything. The world we see, we give meaning to it all, and so it's not always the capital T truth meaning, however. So we want to come to the present moment, practice, take a deep breath, use our spiritual tools, and use prayer, use meditation, use journaling, do service for others, study. There are all kinds of tools that we have and that Unity shares, A Course in Miracles shares, and utilize those tools, connect into them. So Unity and the Course can be used together as before, or separately to advance our spiritual understanding, our spiritual awakening. So this is the new year. Let it be a year of miracles, of causing the miraculous. Each of Unity's teachings and A Course in Miracles provides a path for us to live in higher consciousness, to access higher consciousness, relinquish the thoughts of separation, and embrace oneness. So I like to end with this affirmation. The miracle working power of Spirit is always active in my life. Together, the miracle working power of Spirit is always active in my life. And when you see somebody else in distress, affirm that for them. The miracle working of power of Spirit is active in your life. I mean, just, say it, a silent prayer. And, offer compassion, offer love. Again, the last time, the miracle working power of Spirit is always active in my life. Thank you. So Let us take that into meditation now. So just breathing deeply in and out, becoming aware of that miracle of your lungs breathing in and out without having to think about it. And we want to be mindful of that breath, because that breath breathes in spirit. It breathes out stress and brings forth more relaxation to the body, brings forth an open mind. And so as we go into this heart space right now, take this into meditation. What do I see that is miraculous in my life today? What do I see? What is miraculous unfolding in my life today? How is love's presence manifesting itself in my life and in my affairs? And if there's something that you are struggling with, how can love's presence move this obstacle? How can love's presence heal this difficulty? I allow that miracle working power of Spirit to manifest in this situation, in that situation. I allow the miracle working power of Spirit to manifest and express fully as love's presence. As love's presence at the point of me, and love's presence at the point of others coming together to serve. I commit to taking notice of the everyday, ordinary miracles in my life. And I am grateful for all the ways that I have been blessed with the miraculous. And so it is. I am so grateful. Thank you, Spirit. And amen. We're going to sing together the face of God coming out of meditation. I am the face of God. I hold it in my heart. face of love. I am the face of love. I hold it in my arms. It is a part of me. I am the face of love. You are the face of love. You are the face of God. All right, you may be seated. Now, will our ushers come forward? I wanted to share a few great things with you. For one, we are tithing to Side by Side, the Richmond International Peace Committee. These are going in the mail this week, and we have more tithes to go out, but we had to make some new calculations. Anyway, I just want to say thank you to all of those who contributed toward our heating repair. We do have some money toward the $3,000 repair that they came to work on this week. And so thank you to those who donated toward that. Thank you for all of your year-end contributions and all of your ongoing, consistent giving and all the ways in which you support Unity of Richmond. So let us say our prosperity blessing together. Divine love flows from me as a spirit of generosity. I know that as I give generously, I enter the flow of abundance. Every good possibility comes into view as I swim in the stream of infinite good. I am the harmony of divine love, blessed and overflowing.
Take it easy, baby. You're in the middle of a miracle. You are right smack dab in the midst of action. You're the main attraction. You're in the right place at the right time. You're a legend in your own mind. Take it easy, baby. You're in the middle of a miracle. You're in the middle of a miracle. When the world outside gets a little bit dry and the same old is passing you by, there's a wide world and a heart inside that smells so freshly of falling rain. There are angels waiting, long lost friends, till you find your sense of humor again. Take it easy, baby. You're in the middle of a miracle. You are right smack dab in the midst of action. You're the main attraction. You're in the right place at the right time. You're a legend in your own mind. Take it easy, baby. You're in the middle of a miracle. 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 Thank you.
Thank you. So let's Let's give thanks for our gifts. Together we give thanks for the gifts that will support our mission of creating a spiritually awakened world. And we are so grateful. Do we have any youth today? No youth? Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank our AV team in the back, Lynn and Rob and Natasha. I want to thank our board members, and for Mary Beth for shoveling the sidewalk, Debbie for shoveling the sidewalk, and all that you do. And speaking of board service, we are taking applications, And other people helped, yes, because we are a community and we work together to do mighty things. Thank you, yes. And yes. Gratitude for the kindness of others. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. All right, and our service leader, okay. And all our teachers who are here faithfully every week, whether we have youth or not, so we are ready for them when they come. And to all of you and those who are online with us, which are quite a crowd today, given the weather. So we thank you for connecting with us. And we have prayer chaplains here today to pray with you after the service. Steve is a prayer chaplain today, and Tom. And Maureen, are you prayer chaplain today? All right, yes. So we are abundant. All right. So let us stand and say our prayer protection, followed by the peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. Today, keep going and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on